The following is meant for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not meant to establish a doctor-patient relationship. Please consult your mental health provider for your mental health needs. Hello, welcome to Chez Eric, my home, where we talk about psychiatry and religion with a focus on how to apply it to your life. And today we will be continuing the William James series on the Varieties of Religious Experience, and this is going to be lectures 4 and 5. Why lectures 4 and 5? Why am I lumping them together? Because the book lumps them together. I don't know why. It's a little confusing, but that's okay. That's okay. And as a result, this is going to be a longer stretch, 8 videos instead of typical maybe 4 or 5 videos, because there's a lot to unpack. I tried to put into 4, but it was just a lot to unpack. So I was like, I'm just going to do 8 and just, have the time and the space to really get deep into this and kind of add, I guess, my flavor or my, not interpretation, but my style of expressing it to you, because this is really hard to read. I don't know, maybe it's easy for you to read. It's hard for me to read. And I understand why a lot of people don't want to read it, because it's thick and it's complex and it's whatever. Anyway, lectures 4 and 5 is about this idea called healthy-mindedness. And what is James talking about when he talks about healthy-mindedness? Well, it's actually a very important concept. And when I first went through it, it was fairly complex to try to understand. And then I realized, oh, he's talking about things that affects us in our daily lives. And it actually applies to our day-to-day. And I'll be getting to that in later lectures. But for now, let's start really slowly. And in starting really slowly, James asks the very simple question: what is the purpose of life? And maybe you thought about this. Maybe this is a very deep question. Maybe you say, I don't have an answer. Right? Give me some time. Who knows? What is the purpose of? What is the meaning of life? Philosophers have been trying to figure that out a long, long time. All right. And he says that, yeah, that's a good question. But for most people, the purpose of life is to be happy, to acquire more happiness in a very sort of basic sense. And what people do is that they bucket things that make them happy and things that make them unhappy. And they do more of the happy things. And that's what people generally do. And in doing more of the happy things, they become happy and they are happier. And this is not, I hope this isn't controversial, right? But this is how people would generally operate. This is how people work. They do happy things, and they like doing happy things, okay? And they will do more happy things that make them happy. So how does this relate to religion? For one thing, happiness isn't so simple. We have very complex forms of happiness, and for religious examples, we have religious supernatural happiness, where you feel really happy in a supernatural sense. So that's something he definitely wants to investigate. But before we investigate that, we need to understand, again, this healthy-mindedness. And to get into this healthy-mindedness, we first have to understand, the typical relationships between happiness and religion. So a lot of people would say religion makes you happy, and therefore that is evidence that religion is something you should follow. And again, this isn't anything, I hope this isn't controversial or anything weird. It makes a lot of sense. If people generally operate in that if something makes them happy, they'll do it. So if religion makes you happy, then you'll just do it. And it's really not that complicated. What's interesting about this is that it means that there's this relationship that religion should make you happy in some way for you to believe in it. But that's not the thing he really wants to get at. What he really wants to get at is this idea that there are these people that no matter what, right, they are just happy. And it's that they seem to always be happy and always optimistic. So why is that the case? Well, he describes this as this idea of healthy-mindedness. And what are the characteristics of healthy-mindedness? The characteristic of healthy-mindedness is that there's an individual who, this is the simplest form of, the religious happiness, where an individual just, for whatever reason, they're just happy, and anything unhappy that comes along, they refuse to feel, they refuse to acknowledge it, okay? And in refusing to acknowledge it, they're just like, nope, it doesn't exist. I refuse to acknowledge this bad thing that's happening. And for these many people, happiness is what they say congenital and irreclaimable. It's just a part of what they were born with. They're just happy. They are considered to be healthy-minded. And to them, God is a giver of freedom and can overcome all evil. And there's an authoritative feeling to nature and doing natural things. So if you follow nature, do the natural thing, then it is an absolute good and you'll be okay. And he quotes St. Augustine, if you love but God, you may do as you incline. So this idea of like healthy-mindedness, of like if you follow God and you just, ignore any bad things, or you just do as you wish, and you just do what you want to do. So that's kind of the outline of what healthy-mindedness is. It is the simplest form of religious happiness, and he wants to start here. Because it's going to be really complex to talk about, let's say, happiness when you're suffering. So he wants to talk about people who are so happy that they refuse to acknowledge unhappy things. And it's just maybe even flat out denial. And he kind of goes on and explores that. So what are your thoughts? What is the relationship between religiosity or religiousness and happiness, or religion and happiness? What do you think about the idea of being happy, so happy that you just ignore unhappiness? What are the repercussions of that, or what do you think that would do for somebody? And how, again, does that relate to religion? Are people who are religious this way, or is it more complex than that? Obviously, I like to think it's more complex than that, but we'll get into that next time. I'll talk to you later. Do like and subscribe if you like this content. I know this is going to be a very long series. I think there are 20 lectures, so bear with me. Thank you. Bye. Hello, I just wanted to take time to say thank you very much for your support. Every little bit counts. And it's a lot to ask to be a part of your life, even if it's just 10 minutes in a day. We're all really busy, and the fact that you're willing to watch the whole video to the end and subscribe and even comment is very encouraging to make this channel grow and grow and grow. I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, or my brain, or my soul, or whatever. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.